Imagine waking up one morning in the greatest city on Earth, a city that ruled millions, built roads across continents, and believed it would last forever. Then suddenly, smoke rises over the skyline. The gates have fallen, the soldiers are defeated, the eternal city is being looted by foreign invaders. How does an empire that dominated the world for centuries collapse? Because here's the shocking truth. Rome wasn't destroyed in a single day. It spent hundreds of years destroying itself. The greatest empire in the world. At its peak, the Roman Empire stretched across 3 continents. It controlled lands from Britain to Egypt and from Spain to the Middle East. Around 60 to 70 million people lived under Roman rule, making it one of the largest and most powerful empires in history. Its roads connected civilizations. Its laws influenced modern governments. Its engineering achievements still amaze us today. For many Romans, their empire seemed unstoppable. But history teaches a fascinating lesson. The bigger something becomes, the harder it is to hold together. And that's exactly where the story begins. As I look at Rome's history, one thing stands out. Most people imagine a mighty empire defeated by powerful enemies. But the reality is much more interesting. External invasions mattered, but many of Rome's deepest problems came from within. Sometimes the greatest enemy is the one inside your own walls. Rome at its peak. By the 2nd century AD, under emperors like Marcus Aurelius, Rome appeared stronger than ever. Its armies were disciplined, its economy was thriving, and trade flowed across thousands of miles. Massive amphitheaters entertained crowds while aqueducts carried fresh water into bustling cities. To the outside world, Rome looked invincible, but appearances can be deceptive. Beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to form. The empire had become enormous. Governing distant provinces required huge numbers of officials and soldiers. Communication was slow, often taking weeks or even months. Imagine trying to manage an entire continent without telephones, computers, or even reliable mail. The larger Rome became, the more expensive it was to defend, and expenses would soon become one of its biggest problems. Political chaos begins. Rome's government became increasingly unstable. Emperors rose to power, only to be assassinated shortly afterward. Generals fought one another for the throne. Soldiers sometimes declared their own commanders emperor simply because they believed they deserved the title. During one period known as the Crisis of the 3rd century, the empire witnessed astonishing instability. Dozens of rulers claimed power in rapid succession, many meeting violent ends. Think about running a business where the CEO changes every few months, each introducing new rules before being replaced again. Now imagine that business is an empire controlling millions of lives. Political instability weakened confidence throughout Rome, and while leaders competed for power, ordinary citizens paid the price. Economic problems weakened the empire. Wars cost money, and maintaining massive armies cost even more. To solve financial problems, Roman authorities increasingly reduced the silver content in their coins while continuing to declare them worth the same value. People eventually realized the coins contained less precious metal. Confidence declined, prices rose, and inflation spread across the empire. At the same time, heavy taxation placed pressure on farmers and merchants. Many struggled to survive. Economic hardship affected military funding, public works, and everyday life. From my perspective, this is one of the most fascinating aspects of Rome's decline. Empires don't simply collapse because armies lose battles. They weaken when their financial foundations begin to crack. Money may not sound dramatic, but history repeatedly shows that economies can decide the fate of civilizations. Changes in the Roman army. For centuries, Rome's legions were among the world's most feared fighting forces. Their discipline, organization, and training allowed them to conquer vast territories. But over time, recruitment became more difficult. The empire increasingly relied on foreign mercenaries and allied tribes to strengthen its military. Many served loyally, but others had different priorities, and some eventually turned against Rome itself. The arrival of the Huns. Then came the event that changed everything, not because it directly destroyed Rome, but because it set millions of people in motion. The arrival of the Huns, a terrifying force from the east. At this point, the story becomes even more dramatic because the Huns didn't simply invade territories, they triggered a chain reaction that would reshape the entire Roman world.